about the 8051 microcontroller introduction with brainstorming session. We know that 8051 microcontroller is a specific application based microcontroller and it differs from the microprocessor, and 8051 microcontroller evolved in so many years. Can you tell me about evolution of 8051 microcontroller?
So before evolution, first microcontroller was invented by Texas Instrument Company, which is the first microcontroller. Before that, we want to use CPU, RAM, ROM with the separate devices. They invented the microcontroller, which was a single chip, which includes all CPU, RAM, ROM in a single chip in 1971. After that, Intel invented the microchip with the NMOS technology, which was very useful for the large industries as well as for the beginners. The drawback of this NMOS technology is that it will require more power. So even though it is useful for larger industries, it is not applicable for battery using devices like clocks and other devices. So to overcome this, they invented a microcontroller with the CMOS technology, which is advanced of NMOS technology, which required less power than the NMOS technology, which is useful for watches and clocks. So it will very popular among the students and beginners. After the invention of this CMOS technology, microcontrollers become more popular, and after seeing the success of Intel, many companies like Atmel, NXL, Silicon Labs started inventing microcontrollers with the advanced of this high speed, high RAM, and also flash memory. Flash memory, on seeing it, means we can easily erase and write the program again. So it will seek more people in the beginner state and the programming side, so they will easily rewrite the programming code. So after that, this CMOS technology in 2000s generation, they were introduced microcontroller in the form of AVR and ARM Cortex. These type of microcontrollers are used for the automatic technology like IoT and then robotics, automobiles. These fields are microcontroller occupy these fields. After that, in nowadays we are using ESP32, AVR Cortex M4, and then
short
microcontrollers. These microcontrollers become intelligent than the earlier. These are using in smart watches and smart homes. These appliances are being used. Even on seeing the evolution of this, the evolution of microcontroller from a normal microcontroller to ESP32 has increased, and the need of this also increased so much.
So we heard about some evolution features of microcontroller. So based on that evolution, we classify the microcontroller into based on address lines, data lines, and something, etc. So can you tell me about some classification of microcontroller?
Based on the classification of microcontrollers, it is with bandwidth types and architecture types. For example, 4-bit microcontroller, 8-bit microcontroller, 16-bit and 32 bits microcontroller, where the 4-bit microcontroller is small in size, low cost and low power consumption compared to other microcontrollers, and it is used in simple applications like LED, LCD or display, battery and chargers. And for example, Resna 435401 microcontroller, it has 20 pin DIP chip, and it is 4 KB ROM and 256 bytes RAM, and it uses 2 counters and 14 input and output ports. Next, we take upon the 8-bit microcontroller, which is commonly used in embedded systems, and widely around 55% of the CPU globally. It is used around 55%. For example, Intel 8051, it is designed by Intel and popular for small and large number of embedded system applications. The
So
next
can you
is
tell me the main differences of 16-bit and 32-bit microcontroller?
it is the speed of the microcontroller and the memory is just varied from both, and the serial pins are around one for both, and it is used in printers and servo motors. For 32-bit it is used in AMRT and SHARC etc.
Okay. So till now we discussed about the evolution and the classification of microcontrollers. We already well known about the 8086 microprocessor and the 8051 microcontroller also. So we know that the microprocessor is a general purpose device, and the microcontroller we use a specific applications for low cost applications also. So in microprocessor means we have to connect external devices for input and output everything, but the microcontroller having the everything in a single chip. Okay, so now we are going to explore the pin diagram of 8051 microcontroller. Can you tell me some points about 8051 pin diagram?
In 8051 microcontroller, in 8051 microcontroller we have 40 pins of IC. So the main pins of IC is VCC, ground, and input output port, timer or counter. So the and we have ports, 4 types of ports, that is port 0, port 1 and port 2 and port 3.
Can you list out some salient features of 8051 microcontroller along with the pin diagram?
So the main salient features of 8051 microcontroller is we have two 8-bit register. One is for accumulator and one is for B register. And we have 16-bit register for program counter and data pointer. And we have 8-bit flag register and stack pointer. In this 8051 microcontroller, we have two RAM and ROM. In this RAM, we have 128 bytes and ROM has 4 KB. We have two types of buses in this 8051 microcontroller. One is address bus. Address buses have 16 bits for accessing memory, and data bus is for 8-bit for data transferring. And we have parallel 4 ports, port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3. And we have two 16-bit timer, T0 and T1. And we have serial data transmitter and serial data receiver.
So from this description, now we are going to discuss about the overview of the 8051 microcontroller. Can you tell me some block diagrams built in 8051 microcontroller?
In 8051 microcontroller, we have the basic 9 blocks sector of the block diagram in 51 microcontroller. And first of all, the interrupted input and the external input, and they have go to the first block, and the second block go to the main processing of the CPU, and they have the get the input data, and they have the oscillating the pulse, and they have save the order. And go to the first read the ROM memory of the 4K in basic memory chip of, I will say, in 4K ROM and 128 bits RAM. They have calculating the process, and they take the timer and counter to the order. In this process, we have the calculating the path travels in the bus controller, and they have he says the inset by the pin diagram of the, they have 4 input and output pins. They have P1, P2, P3 and P4. In this taking the input of the P1, P2 and then the output data from the P3 and P0. We have analyze the data and they get the order and say in, and then they have main 5 chips of the on-chip controller, CPU, input and output, timer and controller, and they have the main basic components of the architecture microcontroller 8051.
So from this we analyzed that the 8051 microcontroller having totally 9 blocks. Okay. So from this understanding, can you list out some real-time applications of 8051 microcontroller?
Yes, of course. Sir. So the applications of 8051 microcontrollers are there are several types of applications applied in our real world applications. Some are consumer electronics. We used to do in household works like washing machines. In washing machines, this microcontroller do timers and motor controls, and we use in digital cameras which uses image processing, and in automotive applications There are speedometers and odometers and automatic door locking system. These and all uses and even cruise control. These and all come under the 8051 applications. And in industrial automations, they use in robotic arms for positioning and changing the positions, and even in pressure and temperature monitoring systems. And so I came here to conclude about this DT based brainstorming session. That hereby we can conclude that this 8051 microcontroller is a functional device which can be used in many real world applications, and these can be controlled and integrated in many ways.
Thank you all.
Thank you.